Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we are going to looking at the best highlights from the today's LPL 2024 Spring Split matchup. Let's see what both teams have prepared for us today.
Wait to see where these supportal combats will go. They are starting to get a little bit antsy on top of Tang Yuan, who does throw out his ultimate. Nice handshake as well from the side of Ming. Does mean that there's no real follow
of the Zazax, the AP support item, a little earlier than Ming reaches their Solstice Slayer, whatever item they go to.
Oh, the handshake into the Graceful Prison. And he is dead. First blood goes over to RNG very cleanly and calmly.
Breathe has done a really good job of just walking into the enemy jungle and making sure that there's full information for him to play as aggressively as he likes and make sure that the Sante can't get good value out of it. Tang Yuan starting to take some...
You're so desperately reliant on this Kalista getting ahead, having that pressure and priority, especially when you combo with something like the Zyra. They land the CC, and they get their kill. One quick pick is all it's going to take to turn that Rift Herald into an easy objective.
Is that when you actually get items, this champion does an unreal amount of damage. They have managed to keep the death count to just the one right now.
Ult at ZDZ and completely whiff on it, so, but do they have the damage? It looks like they do. Weibo just saying, yep, you can have that dragon, no problem whatsoever. We'll take the mid turret. So the trade comes in, and unfortunately for me and for you, that means... It'll be fine though. We'll get
true, yes.
Yeah, in the world, and again, I just feel like Weibo, they're just too scared to walk up to this, and it's going to be taken pretty quickly.
Well, that it is, and they can face check pretty well, but Xiaohao might have to give his life for it if it comes to it. You're not getting that much poke down either. They clear a bit too late, and here comes Jax.
Yeah, here comes Jax and the Cassante. Xiaohao trying to run away from this one here. There goes the hostile takeover. Does get a little bit of a peek there. Drop down the ultimates though as they try to burn down this Jax. He's got a bailout on him, so he might be able to go down. He hasn't got down yet. They couldn't kill him off. And RNG get the dragon and a single...
Stop the way they approach that dragon. They didn't manage to keep themselves in the right area at the right time. They don't have everything they want to play around. Maokai's not here. They're just looking for a fight, I guess.
It's a 4v4 and they're going to look for a fight. There's going to be a huge amount of damage going down. The Zyra is dead. They don't really have the damage to turn on to breathe, and that is a Baron as RNG start to fully...
Real problem too.
Now RNG can start to put in some work. Now they can start to take down some of these towers, really put in some serious work onto the structures outside of the base of Weibo. Weibo kind of sitting here waiting for a mirror.
Yeah, this is something that we saw a little bit in the RNG EDG series too, where it felt like when they had a lead, yeah, they keep on to it, but it was pretty hard for them to close out.
Here we
Do
go.
they have the Shurima's Legacy? That's a good Stranglethorns.
It is a good Stranglethorns. They try and separate everybody out. They are going to finally get way down. That's one kill, but they lost their base. The inhibitors have been opened up. There's the Fate's call to try and make sure their support doesn't get caught out. Tang Yuan has to go golden to keep himself alive. LWX picks up Crisp, and everyone's getting very, very low. Light does use his cleanse. It does not go down. Everyone's just so low. These hellfires are so tantalizingly close to be giving you the kill.
You'll notice every single member of Weibo is under this turret. That's not where they want to be. They want this LeBlanc.
I've never read it, nor have I ever watched it.
Okay, alright. I'll have to explain something to you then, because there's a particular...
It's a bit much, but I will say that the Chain of Corruption should be on a fairly low cooldown this late in the game. But Xiaohu now moving forward, level 18. These auto attacks will do work if they can get on the right targets. There is the ultimate from the Maokai to try and jump in and try and catch out somebody here. That's a fantastic hostile takeover, but it can't get way out. Tanglebard stops any kind of re-engage. As you can see now, Breathe looking for Xiaohu, looking to take him down before the rest of the team can exit. They have taken down both junglers, which means neither team going to feel confident going for that Baron.
Will be here in time.
It will indeed. It's going to be neither jungler though for the moment. As Xiaohu takes a fierce chunk of damage. This is a straight flip. There is no junglers here. This is not a 50-50 just yet. The Zero goes whiffed and nothing can happen from it. You got to get way into the pit. You got to get him in there to get that Baron, and he does. Now, turn and burn for the fight. RNG looking to try and take down as many Hellfires as they can. They're being slowed though. These plants are just constantly annoying. Wei comes back in, gets the Baron and dies almost straight away. Everyone chasing them down. They don't want them to get away with these Baron buffs. They want to try and take away as many as they can. Light just corralling them closer and closer, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of there with many more kills, but they're committing everything.
They're committing, but what are they realistically getting out of this? He still has all out to ZDZ.
They do indeed. They have got the Varus down. They also got the ultimate out of the Renata. They're trying to see if they can get anyone else off this. Weibo making sure that this Baron was not for free. Breathe, trying to see if he can get one more breath of life into him. Xiaohu just take him down. It's going to be the Kalista getting it. Light looking for a little bit more. But RNG get the Baron, but they lose everything else. And that means that the map has been completely reset.
Oh my god, it's a complete turnaround. Light ends up doing a massive amount of work on this Kalista. It has so often been for Weibo, completely flipping everything in early and mid. There are a couple of plants occasionally giving slows, and of course Xiao who can dash in and out as well. Clutch wall to bring ZDZ back in, and suddenly RNG, they don't get to use that Baron buff at all. And Weibo have themselves a lot more gold in pocket than they have any right to have.
Yep, they do. They're still down 4,000. RNG still very much ahead in this game, and we'll have the Baron for a little bit. They're not minus 3,000 Baron power play. With the Rend and the Smite, though, this Dragon is gone. They're not going to be able to contest it. And that's Weibo getting themselves up into a soul point. So we're going the full.
From a good angle. He's in a right spot to at least attempt something. We also have multiple items on supports now as well. Zyra's completed the core, and they get a knockback on Sejuani.
They do indeed, but Sejuani very tanky. Nice ultimate there from the Zyra. The ultimate from the Renata doesn't really do a lot, and they take down the Sejuani. Breed trying to play away from everybody else just to make sure he can beat it.
So unironically now, Light needs to stop farming, and the minis need to go after Chris. If you can actually get another item on Chris, say something. Oh, but he's got to get himself caught. He's cleansed out.
Yeah, it's cleansed out, but he's not going to get anything else off of this. Breed's on the backside here. Tangle Barbs just to try and stop Breed from getting anything else. The Rend is not going to be close enough. They finally get him down, but he goes into the counter-strike and finally get taken in. Weibo are coming to life in this late game. Xiao, who has to run away because he is getting taken out so quickly. But the Cassante is massive. Triple kill coming in for ZDZ. And this could be huge for Weibo. They've lost nobody.
And it's a difference of 2 divers. Breeze goes into the Kalista Zyra and gets demolished. And on the other side, ZDZ gets himself a triple kill. The last 2 remaining members of RNG are fleeing. They're in fog of war. There's a chance that maybe one of them gets out, but now they're both caught.
They're both caught indeed. Wei trying to see if he can keep Tanguman alive, but he will not be able to do it. Now he needs to get himself out alive. He does flash and he does have his Arctic Assault, so he should be able to keep himself safe. But that means that Weibo get themselves 4 kills and they can turn and burn back for the Baron. Xiaohu's just going to make sure that Wei is nowhere near this objective and maybe even take him down. He's got Crisp in tow, so they're looking to try and stagger these death timers.
That they are, and if he dies, the Baron is, well, the Baron's going to be gone anyway, the Kallista's on it. Wei, one of the huge engaged threats for RNG, has been left alive for so long that suddenly you're going to have a half-a-minute overlap.
Weibo. The funny thing is, normally at 40 minutes and you get an ace, regardless if it's delayed or not, even just 4 kills, that's themselves here.
I think Crisp has found himself his pro build taken on the initial push. It will be taken now. Weibo with this Baron buff, they should be seeing themselves into a game 1 victory unless RNG can get themselves some kind of miracle teleport flank, but they don't even have the wards for that right now. There's maybe 1 in mid lane they can look towards. That's giving extra information. Light can walk over towards this Baron. You can absolutely 2-man at this point in the game. Tanyuan has to go towards the bot side, look for a teleport back into the play, but you have to go through the plants again. It's just annoying.
I mean, they don't know what the Baron's on right now. They have no vision. It's only about half HP, but that's a hell of a lot of spears in it, so you imagine that this is going to be Baron for Weibo. They will secure this, and will they take a fight afterwards? TP from Tanguman coming in. Baron secured. There's the ultimate from the Zyra and the Maokai. They've caught up the 2 tanks, but that's a good choke point here for the hostile takeover. Xiaohu looking to try and reassess themselves into this fight. Everyone backs themselves away, but you got Baron for Weibo. They now need to go back towards this mid lane, push this one in, and
march to the beat of their drum.
Yeah, but this Elder's not going down very quickly. Wei jumps into the pit, throws down his ultimate, does land it onto Light, who gets himself immediately cleansed. Breathe now getting focused on by the rest of Weibo as they look to try and burn onto Wei. Wei flashes away to make sure he cannot die, because if he dies, this Elder is gone for sure. Breathe keeps himself alive, but using all his summoner. Tanguan just about gets away from the clutches of Xiaohu, but this Elder is still going strong. Weibo, you can't just leave it to go. You have to try and fight it, but you can't now.
He takes it!
The Elder, but can they get the rest of the fight? Breathe goes in, getting so much damage, just flirting with death right now. Maokai gets back in, but Xiaohu's TP'd in. He's TP'd in to try and end this game. He wants to try and finish this one off, but they're killing all the health bars. This is Xiaohu versus the world. He will get himself the 2 Nexus turrets, but he won't be able to end the game because Tanguan's chasing him down. No flash for the Vizier. I don't know why Xiaohu was
to start up the Elder if they weren't confident in taking a fight or finishing the objective.
We got RNG barreling up this mid lane. Baron minions or not, you can see Xiaohu immediately saying, I gotta stop this wave. I gotta stop them from just forcing a fight. Ming took a huge chunk of his own damage. Half his head could burn it down side to side. Breathe on a fantastic flank right now and has found light. Hasn't gotten the CC out of him just yet. Does get his cleanse, or excuse me, his QSS. Still has a cleanse available to him. They are kiting, and you can see that there's actually a Xiaohu in the base. He's looking for the end of the game because there's no Nexus turrets. There's no Nexus turrets, and Xiaohu is gone. He wants to try and go for this. They need to stop the teleports. He's going to about half HP. They stopped it. He's now down to LWX and Tango, and just here he flashes away. Got one more auto. Xiaohu was done with this game, and they get it.
In today's episode, we are going to looking at the best highlights from the today's LPL 2024 Spring Split matchup. Let's see what both teams have prepared for us today.
Genuinely could really put them, like, honestly, like almost impersonally not able to come back, but here we go. Wait to look for something, gets hit by the double, and they get the TP away. They will finally get Ming and LWX towards the minion wave, but like they could get dove again. They will hit level 2, but I mean, this is awful. They're not going to get level 2. They're not going to get it. They're going to lose both their flashes, and Crisp and Light are just smashing this bot lane. It's going to be some supportable combat.
Still, Xiaohu is doing enough to make sure that Tang Yuan isn't getting huge value from his mid lane priority just yet. See what happens with Xiaohu versus Wei in this matchup, which is also winless in the LPL in this specific matchup. He's heading towards bot side again. It is not about the Maokai right now. It's about the
not about him. Not at all. We're going to have a shockwave. Actually stop a little bit of that aggressive move. He will get caught up by the cats right at the end. The flash from Tang Yuan does not move away from the Crescent Guard, and that's going to be a trade of mid laners, though this time around it's the jungler of RNG that picks up that second kill. So big trade.
They would get locked up under turrets, a little bit dangerous, but Xiaohu baits out, well, forces out. Right, so they do have Maokai ult. This is actually not a bad 5v5 to be taking right now, because Sante's not here. Xiaohu might have to force ult. I don't think he is. They're just going to look for the Dragon secure. There's no counter-engage coming through from the side of Weibo. They're teleporting away towards top lane now, but that means the teleport, the fight might come through.
The fight might cut. I do believe after maybe the next wave or so, you should, quote-unquote, be getting the first item available for the side of LWX. And now Breed wants to take things into his own hands. He's looking for a little bit of a move here on the ZDZ, who's just trying to run away with the Ghost. Should be able to get away from the rest of the team. Yeah, he's buying time. But Xiaohu now, unfortunately, just a little bit too late. There's the tidal wave looking to catch out many people. They're going to get a double bubble trouble into the combo. Crisp with absolute clarity there, knowing exactly where to place the bubble. And that was a huge the ultimate out of himself there. So should be pretty safe after the fact, but not longer having that.
It's an item and a half because of the support item too, but giving so much value to Lucian in particular. LWX can't afford to be all out of position. Xiaohu still has ult. This is not even a good fight.
No, it's not, because you don't have any damage. Like, yes, you get the Gnarls, he's got a Triforce, but you're not getting Tang Yuan in there, and straight up, LWX just cannot walk up to that. So, trade of turret for turret right now. ZDZ off to the side, but they're still going in this mid lane. Weibo, they don't care about the Dragon right now, because they know that it's a 4v3, and Breathe, he's getting so much damage. LWX has to use the heal and the feathers just to make sure he doesn't die.
And this is why we banned the Lucian in the L. It's going to be the Baron stopped. Is there going to be a fight afterwards?
Oh, might be on way. Don't think they know exactly where everybody is. Breathe now. They've kind of found a couple of different answers. They're going to get the all out and immediately given over. The Baron has been stopped, but it's going to be started again because 21 minutes on the clock, and you can see that Weibo just don't care.
Shockwave.
It's huge, gets a lot of damage down onto Ming. He's going to be so squishy going into this fight. ZDZ just keeping everybody away. The Baron down to 3,000 HP. They just need to get it down to about 1,500. Good tidal wave's going to separate everybody away as they look to try and jump onto Ming. Baron secured. ZDZ taken down. Xiaohu goes in onto LWX, but nobody else was following up to him. Breed going to go into Mega, get a little bit of a boost of a health bar, but it's an early Baron over to Weibo. They should be able to get out of this as well. There's no real chase available. Breed has flash. He's looking for it, but they all predicted it. Now these health bars are going to go low. Now the Lucian can really start to tear in. Pew pew. It's time to go back to the gray screen. Tang Yuan is being chased down like the ghoul he is, and that is going to be an easy little ace coming in here, you imagine, for Weibo. Xiaohu gonna keep chasing down Wei. Wei might want to use the ultimate to stay alive, but out of all of it, it's still Weibo's game.
It's absolutely their game, and it came off of
2-0 and 6, just dominating in this jungle matchup between himself and Wei, and proving that the Tin's out. It's
going
just
powered double tap with the first strike on top of it as well. This champion is off the chain.
It is off the chain and off the charts. Here we go. Light gonna flash away. They're gonna throw everything at him, but is the damage enough? That is the question. They're just not quite able to get him. Finally, they get the kill. The bot lane is dead, but can they get anything else? The shockwave is good. Wei goes down. It's a 2-for-2 trade in this exchange. 5v5 turned to 3v3. Never mind, we'll make it a 2v3 in favor of Weibo. And look, RNG, I love that you tried. You had to go for something because this game is falling away from you.
I mean, they did what they were supposed to against the Lucian. The last time was the Malkael. You're meant to punish Lucian as soon. They come into this one, and despite even the hard game one, they are looking like they have recovered.
Weibo, but it is a little disappointing from RNG. We're still kind of temperature checking them. We should be able to get them into playoffs, but we'll see how it goes. Breathe is going to die. They're not even going to use the all-out to take him out. CDZ picks that one up 3-2-2 on the Cassante, but yeah, I mean, this game is going to end in a Weibo win, 2-0 on the day. And I mean, look at that damage.
Oh
like that was just his culling. That was just the first 2 bits of his culling because he's got the Infinity Edge with the last Whisper.
Didn't even get the double tap.
Nope.
He didn't even get himself auto attacks on top of that. This is now going to be a pretty unceremonious end to the game. That's through the Guardian and the shield from Ming. He is not safe at all. Wait until the next auto attacks come up. Light, he's a player which started his career being the aggressive, front-footed player, playing stuff like the Lucian and dashing forward too aggressively. He's toned down that aggression over the years, but he's cultivated it into a real...
Here and wait for them to do it. So the red buff gets stolen. RNG moving forward. They don't... Now they know. I was going to say they don't know, but there's the shockwave. Breathe is dead. Light picks up his 4th kill. If he hadn't died so far this game, he would be an error screen, but he is 4-1-4. And I mean,
this is going to be a very difficult situation for RNG. It's not exactly gotten easier since the early levels of it. Ming's walking over, but honestly, he's just a slight distraction. Baron's going to go down for free. See, Tanuan potentially taking down a dragon to get an objective bounty at least, with LWX heading down there as well. They'll get involved with that kind of clubbing, but I think the only drinks RNG are putting in right now are ones to drown themselves in their sorrow, because this has been... It felt like they could have had that first game. This one has not felt the same. They're throwing out the Markel to try and stave off the inevitable, but it feels so futile.
Yep, you got the last of the inhibitor turrets, the last of the inhibitors. And the minions shall pour in. RNG going for one last ditch effort. They flash in. And they get absolutely nothing for it. They are going to look to see if Breathe can get something as well. Does it get a good ultimate? They're throwing everything here onto Light, but he still hasn't gone down. Xiaohao finally picks up the kill on Tang Yuan. And after everything, they still haven't killed off Light. The flashes, the ultimates, everything was thrown at him. But he just did not go down. He did not die. They will kill off ZDZ, but these minions are doing the work for them. They'll throw in one final last effort to try and save this game, to save this series, but Weibo refused to let it happen. Weibo came into this second game and said, we're not repeating game number 1. We're not going for 50 minutes. We'll do it in just over half that. 30 minutes and we'll call it a 2-tap onto the Xayah. Weibo 2-0 on the day.
Gosh. The light briefly flickered in the wind as the H...